Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pullze Check podcast, man. Guys, I told you guys last podcast, I said, we'll be back very soon for any news for Warzone. And it's been a day and we're here. They dropped the bomb on us. We have probably everything you need to know about Warzone. J God, are they going to give us any more vlogs or is that it?
I think they have to.
Right?
I think they have to.
They give us a lot, to be fair. But
yeah, I think they have to because there's probably they'll probably do one specifically on maybe the weapon stuff or the perks. So maybe they'll spend more time on that because everything's kind of like a one-liners in the thing, which is useful. But I don't know. They don't have to. I mean, update's going to be weird because it's on a Thursday instead of a Wednesday. Patch notes will go out early that morning, and then we'll go from there. And everyone's going to be like busy with content on every mode.
It's going to be 11 again, right? Which kind of sucks. But like 11 a.m. CST, 9 a.m. for you guys. That's like
that's when the patch goes out usually, but the actual update usually goes out like an hour or two later.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. That kind of sucks. I always hated when they did updates in the mornings. I loved, bro.
I like
when
the
they
night
would do
ones,
updates at night. 100%. Yeah, like midnight or 11 CST. Oh, those are the best. All right, fellas. So, guys, they just dropped the absolute bombshell on us for everything Warzone related. I've read this 5 times over. I'm actually very excited for this. But there are a couple things in here that I'm like mind blown, and I'm a little bit scared.
It's super surprising.
Yes. Yeah, there's some good things and there's some questionable things, and I'm sure we'll go over it.
Yeah. So look, we're gonna go one by one. I'm gonna go down the blog. JD, if you want to follow along, that's fine. But pretty much we're gonna go one thing at a time here. And so, fellas, let's talk about Area 99. They just announced a trailer. They just put that out. An Area 99 trailer going over pretty much the map. They made some color changes. I immediately, when I first saw it, my initial reaction. For those, let me kind of backtrack. Sorry. When we played this at COD Next, we said this map looks so dull. It looks so brown.
So we played it before then.
Yeah. Oh, you guys played it before then.
Nice.
Yeah, we did it.
Nice flex.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Jay got it and Ebatez played before me. I'm just saying next. You know what I'm saying? But it was so dull, like so dull. And the main feedback that they got, and we told them was like, guys, I get that it's a Nuketown vibe, but there needs some color, right? Like, JD, I don't know if you can grab it, but what's that Splash Town map from Black Ops 3? It's like Splash. I actually think it might be called Splash.
Like the water park one.
The water park Black Ops 3 map. Right now, JD will pull that up. But I was expecting those colors. I was like, this is depressing, right? And so they said that the changes are coming very soon for the colors. And pretty much they gave us the trailer and the colors. My immediate thought was they didn't change anything. That's what I thought when I saw it. But people brought before and afters, and they actually did. It pretty much looks like they cleaned it. Like no troll. It looks like they got a towel and cleaned all the buildings. That's generally what it looked like. So I don't know why. When I'm thinking Treyarch,
the colors changed though.
They did change. I thought they didn't, but apparently they did. They just made it a little bit more colorful. I thought this, let's say what you guys are seeing right here to your left, I thought this was what, like the vibes we were getting, the colorfulness, right? Let's say Nuketown right now, the way Nuketown looks, how colorful and vibrant the colors are, I thought that's kind of what we were getting.
What might have happened is, I think they're probably doing some color changes and they had to film the trailer or record all of it. And that obviously takes a lot of time. So maybe this was before like the color changes that they're planning on. Maybe, hopefully, I don't know, we'll see. Obviously, like coming up with a trailer that doesn't match exactly what you're releasing is a little iffy, but I don't know. Cutting them some slack, it's like maybe that's what happened. It's like maybe they're recording the trailer and then they're still working on finishing some color stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, bro. In my opinion, there's no way. JD, if you can find the pictures of before and after, that'd be awesome. One sec, guys, sorry.
J God might have tweeted. J God, you put out a tweet, right, of the colors?
I did, but the new blog shows plenty of pictures of what the map actually looks like now, and they even show side by side almost what it looks like when they do the top overhead view.
Yeah. So like I think somebody put out a screenshot of before and after. I'm sure we can find it somewhere, and I'll have JD bring it up. But honestly, what's y'all's thoughts on it, man? Like to me, it wasn't drastic enough, right? So above is the before, below is the after. Definitely now that you see it like this, definitely made it better.
Like
for sure.
look at the red in the bottom one is purple, like pastel on the top.
Mhm.
The green is now like a turquoise, bright. The yellow is like a nasty mustard,
Orange.
and this one's like, yeah, like it's actually bright.
Yeah.
And it's the building in the back too has a lot of the green, and you can see how there's a little bit less of that rust that we're seeing in the top image.
Yeah.
So
what do y'all think? Would you guys have liked to have seen more? Or
I didn't care before, and I don't care after.
Okay.
Like I care how the map flows. It's not like we got a Sheikah with it looked like dark trash. Like this one's at least bright. It's desert. It makes sense for the theme. I know people want more greenery. It just doesn't make sense as much because it's literally in a desert.
True.
But
true.
Maybe they can put plants around the map.
Someone who plays on PC too, I feel like I mess with the hue saturation on my monitor a lot, and I feel like that should be able to fix some of the issues. Like if you just want a little bit more color, so maybe they're trying to keep it like a more standard color so that you can mess with your like contrast settings as you want or your saturation.
Yeah, low key. Somebody said they pressure washed the map, which I agree. That's what it looks like. They washed it. Yeah, man. Oh, JD. Hold on, fellas. Give us a sec. JD's having technical difficulties. All right, there you go. Yeah. So honestly, I thought it was gonna be a little bit more. I'm not too bummed, right? The map for me. Okay, so what are y'all's thoughts on the actual map and the way that it flows? Because at the end of the day, that's kind of what matters. I personally, this map got a lot of hate at Next because of the colors, but I didn't hear too many people talking about how the map flowed. I personally really do enjoy and really do like the way the map flowed. The reason why is I liked how there's not too many drastic changes in terrain. It's like, or I don't know if terrain's the right word, but like verticality. Yeah. They're all horizontal fights. So you're fighting people maybe one story above you or on the same level, as opposed to, let's say, like, I don't know, Vondel, where it's like 12 stories and you're looking down or up, or like Caldera.
There's not a lot of stairwell fights. I think it'll just flow well. I mean, when we played it early and at Next, it played fine at both. Obviously, it was super sweaty at Next because a lot of the creators or whatever. But in general, like you can kind of get an idea of how the map's going to flow. When we did play early, I ended up being on a team with Nixta, and he dropped like 25. And this is in an early access with 12 content creators and like 30 regular people that just make the game and probably don't sweat the game. And they were able to, and he wasn't farming or anything. He just got 25. So I think the pacing will be there. And it should be very similar to Rebirth Island. I think the way it feels. And unfortunately, like the love for Rebirth is so rooted like in the COD community, just like Nuketown and just like Shipment. It doesn't really open it up for a lot of new maps to shine unless maps are like just phenomenal. So hopefully it hits it out of the park, but we won't know until it actually happens. What people think of it. Obviously people will be complaining like, oh, I'm forced to play this instead of, whatever. But I think keeping it comparable to Rebirth in terms of player count, size, flow, it should make it more comparable when they put those in a playlist together where it rotates every 15 minutes a month into the game, versus like Vondo where it's like, okay, 70, those maps are drastically different. That map versus Sheikah, drastically different. At least this will be like a mirror where it goes, okay, it kind of feels like the way Rebirth feels, but like a different map versus Vondo is an entirely different map.
Yeah. I my biggest concern was the player count, but I believe they put out something that said that the player count is going to be identical to Resurgence or Rebirth. So, I mean, I hope it plays out. I feel like sometimes with pubs with Rebirth, it's a little bit slow. And like if you want high kill games, you actually have to cycle, right? Unless you're boxing and shit, right? But like for the most part, regular lobbies, I feel like when I played it back in the day, because only time I played Rebirth is ranked, it just felt like the lobbies died way too fast. So I hope that's not the case here, but I really did enjoy the map flow when I played it next. Ebatez, thoughts?
Yeah, overall map pretty good. I like that there's a lot of intentional, like we talked about, it's pretty horizontal, not a lot of verticality, but there are intentional like underground loops and stuff. So there seems like there's a lot of finesse, which I think will be fun with the movement. Like there's just little underground passages you can kind of go through. I also saw that we played, there was no vehicles, but I know that in the trailer, it looked like there was a helicopter, an ATV, and a 4-wheeler. So
bike.
That could be
Too.
just for trailer, hopefully.
you think so?
I hope.
Well,
And
like,
the
no way they're gonna have a
vehicles,
chopper
hopefully
on
they're
this,
worth
right?
using. Hopefully
I-
they're worth using.
Could see them putting a chopper in the middle, like on that very tall building that's in the middle of the map. Like I could see them doing that.
That'd be tough.
But
Like in a bad way.
overall, honestly, like I'm excited. I think the map will be
Cool.
good. I don't think it's gonna be like the greatest thing ever, but I think it'll be good. I'm curious. It just kind of depends on buy stations. Like I guess vehicles a big one. Zip
Also
lines.
the
stuff like-
actual cash, because it was juiced when we.
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
a lot of cash when we played.
They
We
said
didn't.
that was on purpose though, so that's not gonna
That's
be
what I
like
mean. So what it will actually be?
that. Yeah.
What like we weren't able to use loadouts. So I don't know. I mean, it's hard to like judge a game before obviously we're able to play the real thing. But overall, I'm expecting like a 7 out of 10. Like I think it'll
Okay.
be good, but it won't be great.
I said a controversial thing yesterday, and I got cooked on the TL, and it's fine. I still think Omni-Woman's better than 2019 and Jetpacks, right?
100%.
But I'm gonna do another wild take here with this map. I genuinely think that people are gonna eventually like this more than Rebirth.
I think it's possible.
I hope so, man.
It might
I really
take a
do.
little bit. It might take some growing, but I think this map will take over people's love of Rebirth.
It'd be great for the community for just the community to get over like for dance nostalgia, rebirth nostalgia. Like if we can get it and then enjoy it and then move on and be able to like grow from that instead of like living in the past, I think that'll be really good for the game. So I'm hoping that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I think Rebirth is definitely played out, and it's time. It's time.
Yeah.
So let's go over the map, man. JD, if you want to bring up the pictures of the map, I'm looking at the first one right here and looking at the general overview of all the POIs, right? So if we're looking down right now, when he brings it up, I'll show you guys the mini map of everything and the layout of the map. So, fellas, first question I'm going to ask: what do you guys think is going to be the hot drop for this? She has to go down, JD.
I don't know if there will
Right there.
be, because when we landed, I landed at probably 8 different locations, and I feel like the area on the top right of the map, that entire right part of the map, will probably have the most opportunities because it has the underground, the top, the multiple buildings with the loot, and then you can rotate through the underground around the side. But then the left side has a ton of loot as well. So I don't know. I don't think it'll be the middle.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
I think pods is going to be the fucking play. I think that's going to be a hot drop. And
Pods is
manufacturing.
really weird because you can kind of finesse with it, but you're pretty vulnerable as well because as you finesse around, like you get shot from any angle because there's no cover.
Yeah.
Like there's a bunch of open space, and if you go wallbang stuff like you can in multiplayer, it's chalked.
Shit. I mean, looking at this now, yeah, I'm be honest. I think it's going to be like pods or like manufacturing. Those are probably, in my opinion, those are going to be the 2 hot drops. I think the whole left side of the map is going to be heavy like sweat vest. Like if you want high kills, left side of the map, just because I feel like it's so
Yeah.
dense. I don't know. I
There's
feel
a
like there's
lot.
going to be a
The
lot of
map,
players.
I think, has a lot to offer.
Yeah, so look, let's scroll down and let's go over each POI. So first and foremost, we have mannequin assembly. It's on the right side of the map, and it's pretty much just assembling mannequins for Nuketown. I'm gonna keep scrolling. Then we got test site, which I believe test site is on like the upper right, I believe, right?
Yep.
And this is, it's like you have the OG Nuketown buses. It's pretty open, kind of reminds me of Fire Range a little bit. I don't know how many people are gonna actually drop here. Scroll down. Then we have bunker, which this is underneath everything, correct? Underneath
Yes,
which
I
POI?
believe from test site you can get down there.
Okay. Yeah. And then reactor, which is the middle. What do y'all even? Dude, I actually hate reactor. What's y'all's thoughts on reactor?
It was a little weird when I played it. There's only like a few ways to like get in there because I think most of the glass is kind of blocked off, right? You can't. There's some glass that you can't break and get in. So I think there was only a few like open windows and doors that you could get through.
Okay.
It kind of felt like Ring Around the Rosie. It feels very chasey.
Scroll down, JD.
But overall, I mean, I like the zip lines that they have to like put you at the top. That way you can rotate quick if you need to and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it'll be good.
They have one inside and outside, right?
I remember. I think there's stairs on the inside, or there's stairs on the outside as well. I remember the one on the outside. I don't know if I tried the one on the inside.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro, while playing this at COD Next, dog, Lula and Bread were sitting on top of the reactor, no troll, the entire game. I'm not even kidding. I was losing full. I was actually losing full composure. And so I hope that this doesn't get too ratty. But I do like, I'm pretty sure there is a zip, and the zips are really fast now, which I think are super cool. And I think there's 2 points where you can go up on top of it. So it'll make it a little bit easier for people camping up top. Which is good. So I'm curious to see how Reactor actually plays out. It does feel like it's going to be a little bit ratty. So let's go down to Cooling Towers. This one I think is going to be, it's chalked. I played it, thought it was kind of whack.
Yeah.
Doesn't even feel like a POI. Then Warehouse Factory. Okay, so Factory is composed of 2 parts. It's warehouse and manufacturing, but it's one big POI pretty much. But I guess they divided it into 2. I think because of that, there's going to be.
Did they change the color of this?
I don't know. Did they? I remember blue.
Yeah, it was like bluish or green, right?
Well, it's the other side. It's the downside.
Oh, okay.
So,
I don't remember.
So look, warehouse right here is I think it's the farthest side, like the more downside. And then if you scroll down a little bit, JD, there is manufacturing, which this one's green. And it's right in front of it. But they're all connected together. But yeah, I think this is going to be a big POI where a lot of people land. This might even be the new hot drop. In my opinion, I don't know.
Oh, okay, it is connected to it. I'm looking at the overhead view of the map. Yeah. Okay. I don't think I went there because it was towards the edge. And when we rotated from pods through manufacturing into the reactor the way the zone pulled.
This looks like a more accessible chemical from Rebirth. It seems like there's a lot of outside stairs, jump ups. You don't have to go through a single stairway. I think this will be really good. Yeah, there's some zips.
Low key, fellas, that bottom second picture reminds me of the gulag from Cold War. That's
the one that I know what you're talking about, the indoor one that
that's kind of the vibes it gives me, man. I mean, all of this I hope this plays out like Superstore where everybody's just fighting in here and it's cool and it's fun. I think this or pods in my opinion. So factory, all of factory, whether it be manufacturing or what's the other one called, or warehouse, will be the hot drop or pods. Then we have loading bay, which I believe is at the bottom of the map. And honestly, this is not really that big of a POI. It's really small. It's just a floating Nuketown house and a gas station.
Yeah.
Then Nuketown shipping, which is a pretty dead area. It's just a bunch of broken down Nuketown houses.
And that area is hard to get out of because when there's a lot of stairs and stuff, but you're on essentially the low ground.
Yeah.
But one thing they do is it kind of funnels you in because people can't really overlook to see the bottom that well. You can see where the opening is. It's only a small spot, and that's kind of how it is throughout. So it's not like new Rebirth now where people can go be on the bottom side and the stronghold area or whatever, and then they're overlooking and you basically are free shots. It's not like that.
Yeah. I like that. Which, like you said, it's going to force people to actually if you want to go fight that, you got to go down into there.
Right.
I don't think this will be that popular of a POI. Playing it seemed very boring. So it's just broken buildings. Then pods, which again, my favorite from what I played, that's where I landed every time, was really fun. Landing pods, just zip lining from pod to pod, jumping from pod to pod. It just felt cool. It felt, I don't know.
So there's the colors. You could see the difference. See this image on the left? They didn't update that graphic over the overhead view of the map. So you can actually see those colors where that's the yellow, and now it looks like that yellow and that pinkish, purple, red.
It looks a lot better.
And then the green, and then the blue. Now it's like a turquoise blue.
A lot better, but in my opinion, still could have been cooler. But I get it. They want to play to the theme.
It's worn because it's a nuclear factory that's been a wasteland. It wouldn't make sense for the things to look mint.
yeah, right. Maybe before the nuke reactors, right? You never know.
Yeah. Well, then they'd have to rewrite the whole story.
All right, so that kind of wraps up Area 99 and pretty much everything, the whole map in general, right? We'll give you guys a little sneak peek, and we're gonna have to wait to see how it plays out, man. But that is the only new map coming to the game on launch, and for the first time since Cold War, we will not be having a brand new BR map on launch, right? So I'm curious to see how people take this. Like, I feel like in Cold War, because we never had a new map, it didn't bother many people. At least it didn't bother me because I wasn't used to a new map every year. Now that after that, we had Caldera, then Amazra, then Urzikstan, right? Like, so we have a new map every year. Now, not having one, it's gonna feel a little bit weird. It's gonna be like, yo, and even then, Urzikstan is not, my opinion, the greatest map. It's okay. I feel like it's mid is the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
But we don't have a new map. And so
with Cold War, didn't they do a Verdansk 84 though?
You're right. You're right.
So it was like kind of like an updated version of like the map that we had.
Yeah, you're right.
And I mean, a complete turn from what they're doing. I mean, which I'm sure we'll get into, but so.
Yeah, which is what we're about to talk about right now. So let's kind of discuss here, man. Shit. Here we go.
This is very interesting. I will say that.
Okay,
I'm curious to see the thought process here.
Looks fresh.
Let's talk about. It looks fresh. Let's talk about what went down, and let's explain this like if you're watching this and you have no idea what's going on, right? So it was leaked that Verdansk is coming back in March. No.
Further back, it was leaked that Verdansk was coming back, but like 9 months ago, that's when it was leaked, and everyone thought it would be for the integration. And then at COD Next, they officially announced that Verdansk is coming back in the first quarter of the year, earlier in the year.
Yeah,
which we
meant like
assume
is March. Yeah. So this, I'm very curious to see what went down behind the scenes here, right? Think about it. Let's think about it. So this is what I think happened. They saw the success that Fortnite had with it, what, a year ago? Was that about a year ago? And we know that the map Avalon got leaked as well. And it looks pretty much ready for the most part. So I'm curious to see what those internal calls look like last year, where they probably had to decide maybe like 1 year ago. I don't know. They probably had to decide, hey guys, we see Fortnite having this big return and their player count just peaked. Do we bring back Verdansk, or do we keep making this map that we've been working on called Avalon? Right now, they probably had to decide, if we do Avalon, we'll be able to get the new map on integration when it comes out 2024 November. But if we do Verdansk, we're going to have to push back because we don't have enough time to make Verdansk and to implement it back, which even then they had a hard time. We're going to see this.
I don't know if that's the case though. I know
what do you
people
think
that. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, if you played the 2 hours that was the MW3 campaign, they showed all kinds of POIs. We had prison, we had stadium. They were already flushed out in campaign, so they would have had to have been working on it much sooner than that. I don't know and I don't even know if Avalon's done. All we've seen is weird, like Play-Doh looking map from camera zoomed out. How much of it is actually done? And the only thing we did see a line was Charlie Intel tweeted something like saying, "Oh, they're holding it back," which usually if he's saying something, then it usually has some credence or like something behind it that's actually justifying it, or else he wouldn't have made the statement. So maybe it is done. And who knows what the actual plan was? Maybe they did want Verdansk to come out at the integration. They couldn't get that ready. And like Avalon was always going to come out with the next year, because in terms of the second year, it's supposed to be all like the Black Ops 2 maps, which that thing already has. It would be seem kind of odd to bring them out a year early. I also think the rumors are that zombies will continue in the next game, and it'll have an Outbreak style map like they did in Cold War. So you'll have that option to play on the big map, and it'll take you to different regions of that map. The same way they did in Cold War, where there was a potential Blackout 2 or whatever the heck that was, and that got scrapped for the Ruka map, the whatever. Somebody in the chat will know, or in the comments will know what the name of that codename map was supposed to be. So I don't think, maybe it is done, but I don't think it was ever planned to come out right now.
You think on integration?
I think Verdansk was probably supposed to come out earlier. Yeah, Ural Mountains.
Okay. So, I mean, look, bro, I guess, I mean, in my opinion,
But that's all opinion, right? Like, I don't know any more than anyone else. And in this case, that's just my opinion. It just doesn't make sense for them because that map makes perfect sense for a year 2 Black Ops 2 remake, remaster maps like they did with MW3. Or MW2.
So here is the question then. Do you think that Verdansk was supposed to come out next week, or are they holding it till March to that way, like
5-year anniversary,
to do the 5-year anniversary?
We still don't know the actual official date. Everyone's guessing March just because the anniversary. But realistically, I would think that maybe it was set for mid-season. So they would give the season would drop and maybe the game would have its flowers for Area 99, and then maybe mid-season then we do it, because I don't think it's ever been the case where they're dropping that much content on one day on the launch day. Usually they save a little bit for mid-season. We've seen this with Rebirth when it was added. It got added in the mid-season, or it started and then they added ranked in the mid-season. Something along those. Usually not all the juice is on the first day.
Right. Okay. Well, I mean, again, so up to interpretation. No one knows. No one actually knows. Let's talk about the subject at hand here. The returning map is Urzikstan again. Now, I'm going to read word for word on what they said. All right. Let me see. Where does it say here? Okay. So it says, the scene of what is shaping up to be a ferocious rank play battle royale at midseason, the Urzikstan Big Map is the first of 2 returning large-scale locations you can drop into at the launch of Season 1. As development worked to integrate Omni movement and other Black Ops 6 innovations was highly involved. This version of Urzikstan is the one you remember from earlier seasons of Modern Warfare 3, with an intact pop-off power plant and prior to bunker access and the construction of the Atlas Superstore at Al Sada Village. What this pretty much means, like, I'm paraphrasing, is it was a lot harder than they thought to bring Omni movement into this, and they probably couldn't do it with the new map, whatever we have right now. So I fellas, maybe you have more insight.
So basically, what you think is that they tried putting the new game on Urzikstan, like they're building it, and they can't go to the current map, so because they are already building it on the old map, basically.
That's what I think. Because why? Okay. Why would they? Right? Like, why would they do that? Right? Like.
Yeah,
and that would also lead me to believe that maybe Avalon wasn't part of the plan anyways, because why would they be working on the original map for that long with Omni movement?
Well, wouldn't that make it so that way it does feel like that is the reason? Because like,
why would they integrate anything into Urzikstan?
That's why. No, that's like the reason why it's not the newer version is because it never planned to be that. You get what I'm saying? Like they're doing the past version because it's behind.
That's funny.
It sucks because we talked about how Urzikstan really got no map updates this year, and it's been kind of neglected. And then they added Superstore, and they made some really good changes. Like the pop-off thing was like, whatever. But the Superstore, I guess, added was nice. And now they're taking it away, and it's like, why? It just feels like a huge step back. But I don't know if it's because they're trying to maybe build up hype for Verdansk returning, so that people are actually excited for Superstore again or something. I don't know. Seems kind of weird to me though. I wish that they just kept the map how it was and then built off of it instead of going back and then, I don't know. What are we going to do for 6 months? Is it going to be, are we going to get map changes at all or no? It doesn't, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it.
I don't think they do. I think, honestly, they've shown that they don't really care about BR. Yeah. And I think they tank the quote unquote, the numbers on BR, and they just focus primarily on Resurgence for the next 3-4 whatever months until Verdansk comes back. And then they hit it hard in Verdansk. I don't think they would waste money on budget to try to make Urzikstan updates.
Right.
I think they're just going to they're going to tank it, let Area 99 carry for the next months, and then Verdansk comes out and they put all their money into that. That's what I think.
I agree with that. I think it's weird though. The only thing that's weird is that they're not getting the current version of Urzikstan. That's the only thing that's weird to me.
Yeah, that was a little bit, I know Isaac said, talked about how he was upset about it. I know Charlie Intel was like, bro, what is going on? Like, I didn't expect that. But hey, we get old Popov and no Superstore.
Does it not feel like a lot of resources spent just to put Superstore in the game for like what 3 months? I mean, that was probably a lot of time and resources to put that POI in the game to just scrap it after 3 months or 4 months.
Yeah, like when you put it like that, that's crazy. I mean, look, like again, the way I see people playing it is you're either gonna play ranked on big map or you're just gonna play pubs on Air 99. That's the way I think it's gonna play out. That's the way in my head, you know. So we'll see how it plays out, man. We'll go over all the changes coming to Warzone like in a little bit. We'll keep going over the maps, but just know we will be on Urzikstan still next week when the game integrates, and Area 99 will be the new map.
I'm gonna be on Area 99.
I'm going Area 99. I'll be honest, even when rank comes out, I don't even think I'm gonna be playing ranked. I'm probably just gonna be grinding just Area 99 just for funsies. We'll see what content they add to that, right? But then talking about Rebirth Island, guys. This is the for those of y'all that don't know, Rebirth Island will be gone for a couple weeks. Guys, don't calm down.
Pretty
I know
normal,
you guys are bad.
Pretty normal.
Yeah, I know there's gonna be comments in here, pissed off. It will come back. Don't worry. You know, Rebirth Island. I will say, guys, like it's good, but it's not that good. Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
You know?
I'm glad they're back, but it's definitely we're getting to that point where it's like, all right, what's next?
Right.
At least I am.
And I hope it is next. I really do hope. So we'll see. But yeah, so Rebirth is gonna be gone for I believe it's like a couple weeks. I don't really know. But yeah, so those are the 3 maps we get on launch. Or sorry, 2 maps. We have Area 99, which is the new map, and then we'll have Urzikstan with the new Omni movement, right? So let's scroll down. I'll skip a couple of this stuff because it's just not really matter. And let's go down to
20 players. Side note,
which is normal, right?
Because people thought when you revert the map, maybe they would revert. But yeah, it's still 120 players.
So let's scroll down to Call of Duty Warzone rank play, and this comes out mid-season, right? It sucks because we've been asking for this for
hey, that's the rank skin, bro.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
We've been talking about this for a while, and I mean, even I wanted it for so long. I was dying for this, and now, I mean, I feel like the hype is just so killed for me, at least when it comes to like ranked on Resurgence. That shit was just like mind-numbing. It was horrible. But this, like, okay, I want to talk about this skin real quick, bro. And somebody who helped make this skin is in the chat right now. Type shit. Yo, this right here is the most fire fucking skin ever. I think we said this last year during the play test. We're like, why is there no skin if you get first? Like if you get number 1, why did you like, you know?
Kind of like an FNCS, you know, where if you win FNCS, you get like the pickaxe and stuff in Fortnite. There's just, you know, something about winning or being the best.
Yep.
JD, I'm going to send you, if you have it, a tweet. I actually send it to you on Pullze Check. It's a tweet of all the skins, a little bit more high definition if you want to look at my DMs with you. But this has been one of those things where, dude, we've asked for so long, we wanted. Like, there's a couple of changes coming to this as well. So not only do you get the skins, right, for anything from that's not 250 or champion, I think that's what they're calling it. If you hit a certain rank, you automatically get that skin. So for example, if you're you play the game, whatever you're ranking up, and as soon as you hit Crimson, you get the new skin, the new operator
instead of a season delayed.
Yeah, instead of at the end of the season you getting your rewards, you get it during the season.
Except for good, because then you get all of them.
Yeah. Except for top 250 and champion. Those obviously, because they're going to change as the season progresses. At the end of the season, you get the champion skin and then you get the top 250 skin.
You know, it'd be cool, like a little King of the Hill, if they gave you the champion skin during the season and you could use it. And then let's say you lost SR and you lost your number 1 spot, and they're like, sorry, like somebody passed you, and like we have to like take away your skin and then give it to somebody else. That would be really cool, like a King of the Hill idea.
That would be actually nuts. Like, no, that'd be actually insane.
That'd be insane.
I mean, look, okay, so right now, as JD brings it up, I want to talk about a couple of things here. This, I feel like Activision has kind of put themselves in a tough position here, but I'm happy about it. Guys, the number 1 ranked player 2 seasons ago was not a legit player. They were cheating. That
was Biffle, wasn't it? No, He admitted it live, chat.
There were
Finally.
account boosters. There was account hackers, and they gave them their rewards. They gave
That's
that.
crazy, huh?
They didn't ban them.
Yep.
Brother, Enkyo was livid, right? Now that there's an actual cosmetic, an actual skin for getting number one, at least I'm thinking, there's no way in hell, right? There's no way in hell they're not manually checking these accounts in the top 250.
Listen, after the whole series shenanigans, I don't buy any of that manually checking accounts thing, bro. I'll be honest.
Well,
we let so many people in that tournament that just were hacking. But I will say, like, even last season for Rebirth, bro, I don't think they banned a single person off the top 250. And I'm telling you, probably 200 of the top 250 people were cheating. Like, it was unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Well, it's weird because the season before that, it felt like they did because people logged in the next like season.
Yeah.
And it was like 3,000 SR were wiped for people or whatever.
The season before they did.
So they did something. So obviously, just like tying the reins. I don't know.
I mean, man, it's so easy. It's so easy to tell. Like you go into the tracker and you see how much SR they're going up, and like, bro, you can tell. Like you can tell what's normal, and then you could tell what's not normal, right?
Yeah.
Like, in my opinion here, like, I really do hope that they crack down on cheaters, because I know I would assume like Shifty, Soka, Diaz, you know, these grinders, Dongi, they're probably gonna go for this champion skin. And how crazy would it be for them to put ungodly hours just to lose to a cheater? Like,
yeah,
you know,
I even saw legit players doing like boosting. I mean, well, Enkyo did that
yeah.
clip, and then I saw
Enkyo,
there was a few other people. I saw like Crafty, 2C or whatever. His like Warzone rank tracker was getting like crazy SR games, and like So there was a lot of players that were just like doing weird things like behind the scenes, and I mean, yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, we've talked about it like where in tournaments, you know, money brings out like the people will do anything, you know, for something like they'll cheat or they'll stream snipe or whatever, and for something like this, the recognition that would come with having that skin, I'm sure a lot of people are gonna do some weird stuff. So I mean, it's always the truth. You know, like you always see people's true colors when they're trying to do something weird. So I'm sure we'll see some people do some weird stuff.
Side note, we're talking about grinders. Just a side note, because Urzikstan's not changing. Are they going to keep that old banner? Or are they going to update it with the new photo with the?
That's a good question.
Wait, what was the question?
I don't know.
With Soka and Shifty and then Biffle.
Yeah, they'll probably update it.
So okay, look. Hey, for those that don't know, I'm assuming this is dynamic. Right, that champion skin. I would assume the fire, like the flames.
It moves. Yeah, I would assume it moves.
On that other picture, JD, it looks fire.
Yeah, it does.
No pun intended.
In game.
That one right there.
There. Oh, that one's sick too, bro.
It looks sick, bro. I ain't going cap. Like, hey, I ain't going to grind for that. I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? But whoever gets this is fire. Like, that is sick. So, I mean, we've been asking for this. Shout out my boy Tai Tai. This is sick. I'm glad that they implemented this. Really, really dope. Really, really dope.
Yeah.
Now, again, we don't get that until season 1.5. So we'll see how that plays out. I'm assuming they want half a season to let people kind of get used to Air 99. You know, shout out the artist. You know, whoever that is. You're the GOAT. You're the GOAT, man. So, and then moving on to the next one, we have cinematics, which, to be honest, don't really care. We'll continue on that. Let's get into the nitty gritty here, bro. This is in my opinion, would change a lot Warzone from what we know it right now completely. Now, this is loadouts and weapon integrations and everything coming to the game at launch, right? So there's a lot of changes, and bear with us as we discuss.
Also, there's a lot of changes from when we played.
Oh.
Did you see that or no?
No, I didn't. Wait, it depends on what you're talking about.
The perk system.
Wasn't it always pick 3?
Yeah, but you'll get further. I don't know if you read it.
I read all this like extensively.
You know, you can only get one perk from perk 1 category, one perk. But before,
was that not the thing in
15 different perks, so you could pick any 3 you want.
Oh, was it like that in Next?
Was it like that? No, I mean,
I actually don't remember that in Next.
We couldn't do our loadout, but that's the presentation they gave.
Oh,
remember we were like, oh, you can combine that with that one. That'd be crazy.
You're right.
Different categories.
It was a presentation, guys.
That's right, like the presentation.
But we didn't actually get to play
They did a full blog of that. Yeah.
Hey, why did they change it?
Well, obviously it was probably broken.
Yeah, it's probably broken.
They couldn't find a way to like balance it.
Oh shit. Okay. All right. Well, look, let's go over the loadout system and how everything's gonna work. All right. So we have your primary loadouts, right, which consist of assault rifles. Let me see, where's this at? Which consists of assault rifles, battle rifles, marksman rifles, LMGs, shotguns, sniper rifles. That is your primary. Then you have your secondary. If you don't have overkill wildcard on, that is just your pistols and launchers. And then you have a dedicated melee slot as well. And remember, you always have that. You always have your dedicated melee spot. So they're probably going to come out with crazy cosmetics. That is a big change coming. You have your tacticals, your lethals, and then you have your perks. You have your perks, each having 6 in their own category, perk 1, perk 2, perk 3, each with 6 in there. And then finally, which in my opinion would change Warzone forever until they take this out, is the wild card system. This is gonna, we'll get into it and how it affects everything, but we'll go one by one. I mean, boys, what do y'all think about this? Well, let's talk about the UI. How amazing. Scroll back up, JD, please. How amazing this, how simple this looks now. Like, I don't know. Thoughts, fellas?
Jacob, go ahead. You can start.
I mean, I think once we get into the actual weapons, it'll be even better. Because they convert them to list format instead of that sideways 35 weapon scrolling BS.
Yeah, scroll down, JD.
They don't actually demonstrate all of it, but it's just going to be much easier to just grab our guns that we want and be able to select the ones we want.
Yeah, look
like
look
that.
At this.
Like look at that. So there it is right there. And then see on the top of the thing on the top left, it says BO6. You can tab over MW, and then that would be MW2 and then MW3 weapons. So you can get all the rifles right there. Battle rifles are only specific to the MW2, MW3, but yeah.
Yeah, I like what I like. I think is they're trying to make things more situational. So like normally you just grab your one loadout and you have everything you need. Like you have your perks or whatever, and then but now it seems like with the wild cards, if you're like in a specific situation where if you need overkill or if you need perk greed or if you need 8 attachment gun, you can grab different loadouts, which I think will be super nice.
That
so
last
that's what I really
one
like.
too is kind of clutch once we get into that last one.
Yes. Let's go.
That last one is so D end game. Like let's hit the box,
insane.
bro.
It's gonna be insane, bro. So okay, look, let's go through everything one by one, so that way we don't get too lost. But that is a general like loadout. You're gonna have your primary, your secondary, your melee weapon, your tacticals, lethals, 3 perks, and a wild card. Right. So let's scroll down and we'll go over as the blog goes. Let's go over all tacticals. Right. So if you scroll down, JD, they'll have the tacticals here all listed. And the tacticals here are as follows. You have your flashbang, your concussion, your smoke grenade, your experimental gas grenade, your snapshot, your shock charge, decoy grenade, neural gas, stim shot, and spy camera. These are all your tacticals. Now, is there any one of these fellas that you guys don't know what it does?
I don't know what neural gas is.
Yeah, the only thing is neural gas.
I think
like
it's just like the smoke one. Remember that? That's just like a gas grenade, no?
Well, I mean, there's a gas
no, we
grenade,
have
though.
that. So I don't know what the neural gas does. I know we utilized it. I just don't remember what it did.
I think it's like a gas like thing that you just leave there.
It's like a bouncing Betty, but
gas.
Dude. Yeah, these things
gas.
are annoying. Oh my gosh, I remember that now.
OP Mark's gonna love these, man.
He loves them.
It's a stun, gas, and a bouncing Betty. That's not gonna be broken at all.
Yep.
So, and then the spy camera, is that just you put it on a wall?
Yeah, it's like a field upgrade before, but they converted it, I think.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so that's the tactical. So now let's move over to lethals, because there's a couple in here that I actually don't know what they do. Right. So so we have your frags, your sticky grenades, your impact grenade, your thermal barracks, Molotovs, drill charges, C4s, blast trap, spring mines, throwing knife, and combat axe. The only ones that I actually don't know what it does here is just the blast trap. That's the only one that I don't.
The blast trap, that little one that looks like a little mini nuke, and you run over it in multiplayer, and it automatically blows you up. You can't dive away or anything. There's no counter other than shooting it before you see it or whatever, or EOD, flak jacket.
Oh my God, that is going to be, I remember that one's so bad. It's so bad. Like it's good, but like it's bad because it's broken. Yeah, so those are all the lethals, all the tacticals. Going back to tacticals, I do believe that stim shots will probably be meta here. But fellas, I don't know if y'all noticed, smoke grenades, they're back to being overpowered.
Yeah.
They were nerfed when we played the game at Next. They were like horrible.
They could still be balanced differently because there's going to be different stuff. So they could be completely balanced differently.
I think they're balanced.
We won't know until we play.
We'll have to see, but it seems like there's like a black outline if you're like in a smoke with somebody. It's
and
a little
they
bit
don't
easier.
last that long.
Yeah.
The
No
width isn't as wide.
Yeah. So look, I'm curious to see how it's gonna play out. I don't mind it because remember, we're only getting one. We're only getting one. So that alone, the backpack system being gone, which we'll go over right now, pretty much removes a lot of the question marks to this, right? So it'll be balanced or more balanced than what it currently is right now. So let's go down to field upgrades and kill streaks, which we do have a couple different ones, right? In the picture here, these are the different kill streaks coming. These are not all the kill streaks in the game, but these are new ones that are getting added. So we have the SAM turret, the counter UAV, the care package, which has a cool thing added to it, which I'll tell you guys right now. Cluster strike, the napalm strike, and the sentry turret. If we scroll down, I can show you guys all. Well, never mind. They go down twice.
Strike.
Is that not the way you pronounce it?
No, it's just crazy. I'm just thinking about it now.
Oh, right here. So in total, all the streaks in game on launch are UAVs, counter UAVs, advanced UAV, precision airstrike, bunker busters.
Oh, that's kind of like crazy. You won't be able to buy a UAV unless you're level 15, or an advanced unless you're level 42.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Prestige and leveling. Precision airstrike, bunker bust, supply UAV, care packages, cluster strikes, sentry turret, SAM turret, foresight, and napalm strikes, which is the last one. So a couple new ones in there. We'll get into a little bit, but take a note of this care package. That has a possibility of dropping you a specialist bonus. So keep that in mind. Just, if you happen to pick one off the ground, it might was just to throw it, and hopefully you can get a specialist because that will be one of the ways that you can get it. So what do you think about the napalm strikes?
I don't think you need to level up to unlock it. I think the thing said there's an asterisk next to it if it's for multiplayer that you need to do the level unlock. So you'll still have access to it, I would imagine.
Okay. So it'll probably just be guns and like maybe tacticals that you unlock.
I think the cluster strike change was very noticeable at Next. It was insanely different. How fast it spammed and that type of thing. It was like way more direct, less little random delayed. It was like boom, 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 much quicker. I think the SAM turret we didn't get to see. I think that one will be interesting. I don't know how effective it is at taking down UAVs or counters or anything like that.
Yeah.
But just being able to place it and then forget it, I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, I think there has to be like already. I'm thinking, this is kind of like it's not good. But I mean, if it counters things like napalms, clusters, and airstrikes, then it could actually be really good.
I don't like sentry guns though at all. I think those are trash for battle royale.
Yeah, I hope that they're not too broken because we had them before, right?
Yes.
And they were broken.
They were, and then they weren't. I don't know. And then we had that other one, and remember in Warzone, it was like useless.
Yeah.
The little you should put it down and then you shoot from it.
So
that was garbage.
We'll see how those play out. I am a little bit skeptical on that one. I hope it's not too overpowered. But let's move on to the field upgrades because I have a couple questions here and I want to see what you guys think about this. All right. So field upgrades. It's directly above JD. Field upgrades above.
See? Oh no, never mind. I was just showing the perk, but yeah.
Here. So we have, these are all the field upgrades down, JD. Right there. All right. So we have munitions box, heartbeat sensors, deployable cover, portable radars, deployable buy stations, decontamination station, trophy systems, armor box, reinforcement flares, loadout drops, scrambler, war cry, balloon extract, utility box, PRBs, recon drone, PRDs, and morphine injector.
So none of those are new except for the morphine injector, right?
Yeah, let me know if I'm thinking too much into this. I want to know what you guys actually think. The deployable buy stations, right now, they're called they're called portable buy stations, correct?
I think so. Yeah.
Portable buy stations.
Maybe I'm thinking too far into this, but portable buy stations, that's what they call it. And they changed it to deployable buy station. Is there a chance that they changed the way this worked? As opposed to throwing a smoke for a portable buy, the thing comes in and it drops it. It's a actual deployable buy station where some way, somehow you just throw it in. Like it's
without it landing, right?
Yeah, like you just throw it into wherever you want as like, and you're not calling
it can be usable indoors too, instead of calling it on the roof.
Yeah,
maybe
that's what I think. By reading
I don't think you're overthinking it. I mean, you could be wrong or you could be right. I think it's plausible.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Those would be broken.
That'd be insane if they were. So like, it'd be like a mini buy station. Yeah, that you could just somehow pop up. I don't know how they would do it, right?
I think portable buy stations should have like a limited amount of things that you can do from them. I think you should be able to like maybe buy back and like buy armor plates and stuff, but not like kill streaks and like other things like that. I don't know if that's a faded take.
Yeah.
Okay. I hear you. Ebatez. Is there anything in here that's new? What Scrambler? That's new from what we have now, right? Like that's not. I mean, we know it's in BO6.
Yeah,
but it is new technically to Warzone.
We had the Scrambler before, and remember in Rebirth they were mad annoying. They would cover up half.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about those.
Yeah. So
yeah, these will probably be useless.
I don't know. We'll see. What's Warcry? Is that a shit?
Yeah, it's probably the Battle Rage.
Battle Rage, right? That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, Warcry.
And then Morphine Injector. Do you guys know what this is? I don't.
I was thinking that this was Battle Rage, but now that you mentioned
no, that would probably make it so that you're like immune to pain for a short period of time or something. Morphine? Yeah.
What if you're like, immune to like gas for a little bit?
Like a crazy. JD thinks it might be like a crazy mega stim.
Maybe.
Oh, a self-res maybe? Right, because there's no self-res here.
Well, self-res aren't field upgrade.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Okay. I'm curious to see how all these play out. We don't know. We're gonna have to wait. But those are all the field upgrades coming to the game. Maybe a couple different ones, but apart from that, pretty simple. I do think that napalm strikes might change a lot, especially with isolating teams. I'm thinking more of competitive and like you don't even you can napalm a rotation, so you can napalm to chalk people's rotations that they're gonna have to go into the fire in order to rotate. So that should be cool for competitive.
It feels like a more balanced bunker buster kind of, because bunker busters are bunker busters not in the game anymore?
Yeah, they are.
Oh, they are. Okay. Well, kind of the same idea.
There's a lot.
Bunker busters, like the gas that lasts like a long time. You could cut off areas and be like where people can't go into that gas for a little bit. So I guess it's kind of the same idea with a napalm.
So they're saying Morphine Injector's last stand in multiplayer. I'm Prestige Master and I didn't even know that.
Oh, but it'd be a field upgrade. Well, you don't run into people using it that often.
Probably not, right? Okay. Okay, now moving on to, in my opinion, the most important part of this entire podcast. And that is the perks and wildcards. And I think this is going to change the way the game plays out.
So see how it looks now? Completely different than how it looked before.
Yeah. Look, we're going to explain the perks, what they all do. We'll explain the wildcards. We'll explain the lootable perks. And then after, let's discuss on how this is going to be a pretty drastic change to Warzone. Okay. So let's go over. I'm going to go over each individual perk and we'll go from there. So we have 18 perks in the game at the moment, and they're divided into 3 sections: perk 1 slot, perk 2 slot, perk 3 slot, blue, red, and yellow, right? Each of them having 6, right? So JD, you can scroll down, and it'll be, so you're going to be able to pick 3, right? Pick 3 and that right here. And let's go over each and individual one. So for the first sections, perk 1, you have reflexes, which is explosives have a delay when sprinting past them. It's whatever.
Flats, basically.
Yeah. Veteran, reduce negative effects of some enemy equipment while aiming down sights, reduce flinching, and extend holding your breath duration. Grenadier, explosive damage slows enemy health regeneration and movement speed. Throw equipment farther and see a preview of the trajectory. Dexterity, I do think this is more than likely going to be the meta for this one. Reduce weapon motion while jumping, sliding, and diving, and take less fall damage. So kind of like Mountaineer, but just now with less weapon sway, right? That's what that seems like. Then we have Scavenger, start equipped. So this is big. I remember this was a big utility that people used back in Warzone 1. They had a restock or I think that's what it was called.
Fully
restock
loaded
class.
Fully loaded on
There
on your weapon perk.
Yeah. So this
And
gives you,
to be fair, this is one I have brought up a lot over the past 4 years.
Yeah.
Ever since it's basically been gone, 3.5 years.
you're gonna have to use your brain a lot, which is great. I feel like there's a lot of room for outplayability now. Like not everybody's just, like you're gonna have to think now, which is I kind of like. So scavenger, start equipped with maximum reserve ammo for your primary weapon. Resupply ammo, equipment, and plates from dead enemies, which could be really cool. Depending on, I know we've seen it where there's not a lot of plates to go around, so scavenger could actually be fire for that situation. Then survivor, it start regenerating health more quickly, and your allies revive you faster when you're downed. Could be good, could be bad, depending on the first section. Start regenerating health more quickly, right?
Yep.
Now these get better. Perk 2 slot, which is the red ones. There's 6 as well. So these, you can choose one at a time. So quartermaster, recharge equipment over time, 50 seconds, pretty much restock.
And it'll probably be a different number for throwing knives. It usually is. They just don't include it because
decoys and throwing knives are usually lower.
Yeah. Okay. Bomb squad reduces explosive and fire damage, spot enemy equipment, and kill streak through walls. So they combine a couple ones, I think, with that one. Remember,
tracker's good.
Yeah. This next one, tracker, is actually fucking broken. All right. So see enemy footsteps. That alone is pretty good. Then bullets you fire briefly mark an enemy for you and your squad. Enemies that down you are automatically pinged.
And what they did is they combined 3 different perks in this one because the automatically ping thing was already a part of Survivor. That's why when you wore the med vest, it would automatically do that. The other one is obviously the I can't remember the name of it right now, where it auto pings, and then you have regular tracker.
Combat Scout.
You got 3.
This is Combat Scout with tracker.
Is cold-blooded like work against this? Because this might be broken, dude.
I hope so, because this is insane. Like genuinely, this is wow. We'll see how it plays out, man. But I expect a lot of people to use that or this next one. We've been asking for it. We've been begging for it. They said, shut the fuck up here. Sprinter, you can tactical sprint indefinitely, which means unlimited tactical sprint. I'm up, baby. But they also, which I think is also really cool, gave you another way to do it. And that is unlimited tactical sprint whenever you have your melee weapon.
Yep.
So that's fire. Now, I will say quality of life update. If there's any devs in here, make it so that way you can tap your circle or your R3, whatever you use to knife, to bring out your melee, as opposed to holding it. Same way, like I don't know if you could change it, tap to bring it out, hold to assassinate, or hold to punch. That would be fire if you could just tap to bring it out instead. That would be
insane.
That would be fire. That'd be fire. So I hope they can add that quality of life change. Now, cold-blooded. They have it on mouse and keyboard? That's crazy. They have it on mouse and keyboard. So cold-blooded, undetectable by AR targeting and thermal optics, prevents some enemy recon perks and effects. So maybe that?
It says some enemy recon perks?
But do you think that would,
I mean, it's gotta block everything on tracker. There's no way.
Okay. Well, interesting. Okay. Then quick fix. So I think the second section is really dope. Like there's 3 really good perks in here. Quick fix: killing enemies or inserting armor plates. Killing enemies or inserting armor plates immediately starts health regeneration. Can insert armor plates one-handed. What does this mean, fellas? Let's talk about it.
So that means you could run around with a SMG probably and shoot while plating, maybe, as long as you don't get hit. That was my first
thought. The hip firing, like you could in zombies last year. That was crazy when you had to.
Right.
It was like.
I would assume though, if you got shot, you would stop plating. Like it would stop.
Okay, so look at zombies.
Maybe.
Zombies is, you can do this, but the animation is slower.
Not in MW zombies. It wasn't. This one it is.
So you think this is gonna allow you to put on plates faster?
Probably.
Ooh.
Because you're doing it one-handed.
The gun doesn't need to go down first.
Right. So I wonder, is the timing for that going to be the same as you using both hands?
Probably faster. I would imagine it's faster.
If it's
That would
faster,
be insane.
it's like quick fix and like basically
Bro,
tempered.
And then you
Like-
have
Yeah.
temper, and then you
Well, they
can
still
add
have
tempered.
but yeah.
Yeah, and then you could add tempered as well.
Oh my God. That could actually be fire, no troll. Okay, so now perk 3, the final 6. Actually, not really. I'll explain the other ones. We have, and I want to talk about this first one, is Gung Ho. Gung Ho, this is reduced. So there's a lot of stuff to discuss because of this, but reduced movement penalties when reloading or using equipment. Reload while tactical sprinting. So hear me out. And I asked this, you know, and I want to know what your guys' thoughts. Right now, in the game, by default, and J-God, you might know this question. You can reload while running, right? But in the game right now, by default, can you reload while tactical sprinting, or is it reload while just regular running?
It's usually regular running. You can't. I don't believe you can do it while tac sprinting.
No, it's just
I don't think
regular.
you've never been able to.
Oh, so this is just the buff of whatever we have.
Yeah.
Reduce movement
believe
penalties
so.
when reloading or using equipment. Reload while tac sprinting.
Because right now, Modern
Yeah.
Warfare 3, when we reload while tac sprinting, or reload while sprinting, is it just regular sprinting, or is that
Just
reload
regular
while?
sprinting. So this is going to be insane.
Yeah, this could be absolutely busted in a good way.
This will benefit some of those guns that maybe don't have a big mag. Like they'll be like a 40-round SMG. This could allow you to actually sprint away, finessing, get a full mag in, and then turn around. So it'll actually
Bro.
make some guns more viable. And specialist, when we get to that, it'll be crazy because it's gonna include everything.
Bro,
Oh, shit.
imagine Gung Ho with quick fix. You insert the armor. Oh my God.
Yeah, this might be insane.
Gung Ho might actually be better than tempered. And sprinter. Oh my God. This is about to be so rogue.
Yeah, when you get
I'm so
specialist,
ready.
you're about to be up.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yo, again, I'm excited, but you never know. The values at which they make these speeds might only be 0.1 faster, like
Right.
Warzone 2. You know, let's not get ahead of ourselves, you know? We're still scarred from the trauma that Warzone 2 left us, you know? So now, and then we have Resolute. Taking damage from gunfire provides a boost to movement speed for a short duration. Ghost, undetectable by enemy radar pings while moving, cannot be detected by some devices. Then Bird's Eye's back. UAVs you call in are 25% larger and show the heading of the enemy for your squad. Detects players with Ghost. Then Tempered, refill armor plates to full with 2 plates instead of 3. Alertness, sense when enemies are nearby. Tell when you are being aimed at by the enemy. So this is like a high alert, but it's different now, right? J-God, if you want to kind of cover that.
Yeah, it does. The person doesn't have to just look at you. So it's like if they're chasing behind you, it wouldn't flicker. Once they ADS, that's when it's gonna flicker. You can't ADS while down, so now we're not gonna get the flicker for those while just staring at you. And it doesn't say it here, but what they said is that they wanted to make it so that it was like a generic highlight. So you couldn't tell 100% what direction they were looking in. So you wouldn't know, oh, they're on the right, they're on the left, or they're directly behind me. You're just gonna know that somebody's looking actually at you. So it can do that.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I honestly, they nerfed it, which is good. I thought highlight was pretty crazy. But I mean, that's all the perks. There is more, which I think that's
real quick. I want to talk about Bird's Eye. Bird's Eye's getting a buff because
let me see.
right now, if you pop a UAV, you don't know what level they're on. But I think with the new game, if you pop a harp in pubs at least, it tells you.
It has the little chevron.
It gives you the icon whether they're up or down. So Bird's Eye will be getting a huge buff because I know right now people pop advanced UAVs even, and you don't know what level they're on. So if you have Bird's Eye, it'll tell you if they're up or down.
I will say I really do not like that. Like not that change, but I don't like the way they show you if it's up or down. I don't like that in pubs right now. When you pop the UAV and it tells you up or down, like the way the symbol looks, I just don't like it.
I love it.
I don't know. I just don't like the way it looks. Side note.
I think Bird's Eye shouldn't be in BR, but I don't know.
I know you're an avid Bird's Eye hater.
I'm a Bird's Eye hater, bro.
Okay, so now wild cards. Let's go down to wild cards. There are still a couple more things before I want to discuss because this is a topic I really do want to sit down and sit here and like actually talk. Wild cards. Let's go over these 4. There are 4, right? So remember, you're only allowed one of these. So these are going to change drastically the way Warzone's played out because you can only have one at a time. So we have Overkill. Equip 2 primary or secondary weapons. This actually is a change from the old Overkill because I don't believe you could ever equip 2 secondary weapons.
This is a suggestion I've given back before. I don't think it was just me, but it's Overkill and Underkill at the same time. There was a time, I think, in COD, they actually had 2 perks that were like that. And then now they've actually just merged them into one. So technically, if you wanted, you could actually run 2 pistols or a pistol, a launcher, or whatever. There's not many practical scenarios to run 2 secondaries in Warzone, but who knows? Maybe out of the 177 weapons, there will be a combo that makes sense to do that. Maybe you want to run 3 melee weapons because the MW2 and MW3 melee weapons won't be whatever. So maybe you get Riot Shield or what? I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. No, Riot Shield's a primary, so I don't know.
The only thing I would think this would be viable for is you put on Overkill, but you put it with your secondary first, right? Like your pistol, because you can't buy a gun, your pistol in the buy station. So you would equip this, but put your pistol. Let's say there's a broken pistol. Let's say a Renetti. You put the Renetti first, and that's your sole. The sole purpose of that is to just buy it in the buy station if it's broken. Yeah. Right.
That does help a lot in that category.
Yeah. So okay, the next one, which again, guys, I don't think default perks are a thing anymore. Now we talked about default perks being in the game and how much we loved it in Modern Warfare 3. Well, it doesn't seem to be the case here where there's default perks. Every perk you're gonna have to gain. So how default movement feels without everything, I hope it's not too chalked. So we'll see. Now Overkill, as we all know, was in the game for a while or for this last year, and no matter what, you always had Overkill. Now you got to have a wild card equipped. So, which I think is a good thing. You're going to have to give a trade-off, right? So now we have Bandolier, which is your loadout provides a munition satchel. We will go over this right now in a bit, but munition satchel is pretty much it's a satchel that you buy. There's two in the game, munition satchel and I think armory satchel, and you can pretty much just carry more ammo. Don't really think this one's going to be used too much, to be honest. Then Gunfighter. This one will 1000% be in the meta, and the sooner you can find a way to utilize this to your advantage in whatever way you want to do it, this is going to change a lot of wars, in my opinion. You can equip 3 extra attachments to your primary weapon. So as opposed to your gun having a five attachment gun, this is now an 8 attachment gun. The plays for this are going to be insane because people are going to make Gunfighter guns and they're going to choose to buy it in the buy station, or they might grab.
And I believe they're more expensive at the buy station.
They're $6,000 from what we played.
Yeah, they were more.
$6,000 to just buy your gun with 8 attachments, as opposed to $2,500 buying your 5 attachment gun at the buy station. So it might be even worth it. It might be more beneficial for you to have your default classes all have Gunfighter, and you don't get Overkill, and then you just buy your secondary for $2,500 in the buy station, right? When you get your loadouts. So we'll see how all that plays out, but that's going to be a huge change. And now this last one, bro. This last one, the plays you're going to be able to make with this shit are going to be fire. Yeah. This is battle ready. Your loadout provides a UAV and a utility box. So think about end game situation. You're down bad. You have a class where your gun has scavengers, so you have a bunch of ammo, and you have a utility box to replenish all your stuff. That'll help significantly to kind of put you back in the map, in the game, for when it comes to all your lethals, tacticals, and ammo and stuff like that. Also, you get a UAV. Like, just imagine ridiculous. You get a UAV, bro. So like imagine you get all that, or you haven't hit your loadie yet, and you're frying, and you don't have enough money to get UAV. You go and you get your class with battle ready, and then you have a free UAV. Like,
yeah, this one worries me for Resurgence specifically, because you could just keep landing on a loadout and just coming back and popping a UAV and coming back and popping a UAV.
Oh, I didn't even think about that, bro.
That's actually crazy.
Resurgence is going to be really absurd with this. So, I mean, you could buy 2 loadouts on the map and just tell like your teammate. I mean, it's what people do in customs. You know, they'll don't hit that one, only hit that one, so they can have 2 loadouts at a time, and people could just keep popping UAVs the whole game if they just kept hitting their loadout.
I didn't even think of that, dog. Oh my God. That actually is gonna be crazy. I'm also thinking about it from a competitive standpoint. Like,
Yeah.
if all 3 players have a UAV and they pop this,
Well, I don't know if you get the opportunity to pop it or it pops automatically.
dude.
Your
Oh,
loadout
you're right.
provides
That's
a
good. That's
UAV
good.
and a utility box.
Because kind of like the way I get what you're saying in the wording. It does sound like it would give you one that you could call in. I think that would be way more powerful.
Yeah.
That it almost feels. I feel like it should be like the way the bounties work. As soon as you got the kill, then it pinged automatically. I feel like it should work like that, but I don't know.
No keyboard with like
Too much
bro,
strategy. If it just gives you one, like
shit.
what?
Bro. So okay. There's still one more thing I want to go over before we go over how all this is going to change everything. And that's lootable perks and specialists. More specifically, lootable perks, right? So there are technically a total of 6 lootable perks at any given season. There'll be 4 perks that are default, right? And those 4 perks are grabbed from the 18 perks that are in your pick 3 system.
I think specifically they say for the start of the season it'll be from perk 3.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that. But there's also 2 perks that are specifically only able to get. You're only able to get them off lootable perks. So lootable perks it's back in Caldera from what you get. I don't know if you guys recall. You go and you pretty much can just pick up a perk. You find them on the ground. They're little like squares, and you pick them off the ground, and you now have that perk. The thing with these though, if you die with these, they do not drop. They're gone. If you die with these perks, they're gone. But if you die with your regular perks, your 3 perks, those stay like how they are right now. You can pick those back up. But every season they will have 4 lootable perks that you can get that are from the original 18, and they'll change every season. They'll cycle through them every season. And then I'm assuming they might add a couple like new perks, new lootable perks, because right now, if you see that second bullet, I don't know where you're at. Oh yeah, right here. It's irradiated and shrouded are the 2 perks that you can only get while through lootable perks. So irradiated is under the effects of the gas circle or equipment, you will move faster, take reduced gas damage, and can insert armor plates. So that's irradiated. And then shrouded is you drop a smoke grenade when entering the downed state. So these are all lootable perks, and those are the only 2 that you can get by lootable. You can't put them into your class. So this could be, depending on which 4 perks are the ones that are lootable, this could be McTwisted. It could be insane. What y'all think, fellas?
I like it. It doesn't seem like broken, but I mean, Specialist does, but the lootable perks are great. I think it's cool that
For clarification, so because I know Swiper knows Swipey, he said that'd be asked what happens when you can only get Sprinter through the in-game. Sorry, maybe there's miscommunication here. No, you can always equip the 18 perks through like the game. So you will always be able to equip Sprinter. All the 18 perks that we went over, you will always be able to equip those no matter what. But there might be a chance where you will find Sprinter on the floor that you can loot.
Yeah.
Right? That you don't. So let's say you don't have to have it on your class, but if you find it, cool. But there is 2 perks that no matter what will always be in lootable perks, and that's irradiated and shrouded. Those are the only 2 that you can't put in your own class.
Yeah.
For anybody confused. Now and then specialist perks. Specialist perk now grants you 20 perks. The 18 default perks, and then the 2 lootable perks. So it's going to be broken.
It's pretty insane. I like that though. I'm curious to see how you're able to get specialists in the games.
Yeah, one of them is a care package. It says right there you can be attained through a care package, but I don't know how else it's gonna be. You're gonna be able to get it.
I bought it at a buy station when we played Area 99 at COD Next.
Okay.
So I think it was like 30K.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
So guys, those are all your perks coming to the game. Now let's talk about it, fellas. What do y'all think and how drastic? JD, if you want to scroll up to the picture where it says perks and wildcards, fellas, what do you guys think? How do you guys think this is going to change Warzone? Because I definitely think this is going to change Warzone completely in the way we play it and the way we think about it. Right now, it's more like
I think it will, but not as much as the next section. I think that has the biggest impact.
Oh yeah, like the Omni and all that stuff.
I think this will cause people to reevaluate, and I think depending on your play style, you already kind of know which ones you're going to pick. You're not going to divert too far off of that. I know for me, I'm probably going to get the Mountaineer one. I'm going to probably get the other one that auto pings and tracker. Like that one seems kind of broken. And then the last one, maybe Bird's Eye. I mean, or whatever the equivalent,
Right.
something like that. Like I already kind of have an idea what I'm going to pick up
Yeah.
just off the get go. So I
I'm
think that's
so
straightforward.
excited.
But I do like the idea of the wild cards, especially having multiple loadouts and saving one in your slot for specific things, and having the option to have the overkill if I want to buy a secondary from the buy station. It like opens up a lot of opportunities to do things.
Yeah, I mean, bro, this I feel like is going to change a lot. I think you're going to have to use your brain a little bit more. I think in Warzone 1, you had to use your brain a little bit more. You had to choose: do you want ghost? Do you want overkill? Are you going to get what? Not restock. What you guys call it again? Fully loaded. Right?
Yeah, fully loaded.
Are you gonna get that? Like you can make plays here, and you have scavenger, you have different wild cards, you have overkill, you have 8 perks, you have I forgot what it was called, the perk that gives you the wild card. Sorry, that gives you battle ready. You have battle ready, gives you UAV. Like
That's insane.
you're gonna have to micromanage your inventory, not your inventory, your loadouts to where you do everything before the game and have everything ready. You have a class for battle ready, you have a class for gunfighter, you have a class for overkill, and then depending on the situation that you're given, you choose which one you want, right? So
which is great. I think that's great. Like I said, it makes it more, you got to think a little bit more instead of just making everything so mindless and repetitive. It's going to make the game feel, it's going to give the game longevity, and people are going to feel a different experience hopefully every game.
Yeah. So honestly, I know some people might not like the change of the not having overkill by default, but I do like it. I do, because I feel like you can always upgrade your loadout. Like, right? You can, if you start with overkill, you can upgrade both your guns.
I also think that was probably one of the biggest factors, or not one of, because obviously the weapon balancing wasn't there, but I think that contributed heavily to the meta being stagnant. Is people could just get everything, and there wasn't like, oh, this is the gun you get if you can't get your secondary because you need the perks you need, and this is with the late zone, and there's more opportunities for different styles of loadout. And now with the 8 attachment and 5 attachment and buy station, primary, secondary, there's going to be a lot more options without them changing anything. And then if they change everything to actually make the weapons more balanced, then now you have all those options on top of these opened options, you know? So I don't know. I think it's going to be better.
Yeah, dude, that would be fire. Like, honestly, I think it's going to be dope. I think the liberal perks is pretty cool. I wonder what 4 default perks they're going to have in there. It'd be cool if they have like the broken ones first. We'll see how that goes. But wild cards, W change, perks, I personally like it. I think, like you said, it gives flavor to everybody's loadout, and there is a pro and a con to choosing your stuff. And like at the end of the day, you can get your gunfighter, weapon, and then just buy and you can buy your secondary. You know, like this should be dope. This is gonna be fire. At least in my opinion. Now moving on to the next topic. Let's talk about the kind of the foundation of what's actually coming to the game, apart from perks and all that stuff, right? Omni movement coming to the game, and new inventory system. Fellas, we went over it a little bit yesterday. Thoughts on just the Omni movement in general?
Incredible.
Okay, I love it. I personally do.
I think it'll
open up a lot of different things. I think it speeds up animations where you're able to dive and then be able to start your reload mid dive, so you'll be able to maybe make a play that you wouldn't ordinarily, and that's not like super skillful. Like you press dive and press square and you're reloading midair. It's not like, oh, you need this, frame perfect timing to. It's super simple. You even do it by accident, just instinctively. Like
it's so cracked, but it's also so like newcomer friendly. Like anybody can use this movement. Obviously, easy to use, hard to master. Like there's gonna be some crack plays here. So I am excited to see this, and I personally love Omni movement, and things are going to change, right? If you scroll down here, another thing returning is emotes and sprays. So I'm telling you, man, going and seeing and squad wiping and then hitting the cigar. And then you know what I'm saying? I know that they're third party now, or third person.
Yeah,
that's ass. But I do think that's cool that they have emotes back. Sprays. I remember spraying the homies red to make sure that you know they're very easy to tell, so I can get them killed and shit. So emotes and sprays are back. I do hope they bring back first person ones because I don't like third person. Now inventory, fellas. Let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. Inventory is changing, and I am very happy about this change. I hate backpacks. This is exactly like OG Warzone. You will have your cash, then you have your gas mask, then you have your armor plates, your kill streaks, your field upgrade, your primary, your secondary, your melee weapon, and then all your ammo at the bottom.
Beautiful.
Right? This is genuinely just simple.
Yep.
The way it should be. Simple. And so I don't know why we strayed from this. Like it's Call of Duty. It's not, you know, PUBG. I love this. I hate backpacks. And I think my only concern for this was the plate count. But they also fixed that. If you scroll down a little bit more, they have satchels. There's 2 satchels, and these do drop on death.
Well,
if you want to scroll
also
down.
they changed the icon. It says 12 plates.
Yes. So I think that's with the
With the satchel, right?
With the satchel 12, because that little icon next to it, if you go back up, JD, sorry, right there, to the top right of the 12, that looks like a plus sign.
That has the quip, yeah.
Yeah.
So it looks like there is a satchel for that. So I'm assuming maybe 6 is default, and then maybe 12 is with the satchel. So
yeah, I think it should be 8-12, but yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think it is 6-12, but I would prefer if it was 8-12.
8-12. Yeah. For those of y'all who don't know, guys, these are, you can find them. You can find these around the map. The satchels are back. Scroll down, JD. And there's 2. One of them is the armor satchel, and the other one is the munition satchel. So
and I think the bandolier starts you with the munition satchel if you want.
Yes. Yeah. So munition satchel increases the ammunition capacity for AR, SMG, shotgun, sniper, and launcher ammunition. Don't really feel like you need, you know, too many of these. Yes, you can equip both, which is cool. And you have armor satchels, which this one substantially increases your armor plate carrying capacity. So if it says substantially,
yeah,
I think it's like 6 to 15, maybe.
I think it's 6-12.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and I believe these do drop on death.
That's double. Substantial's double. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. What I like about all this is I like that these little things I feel like change the pacing of the game, because I think like kind of what we talked about earlier. Like right now, you grab your loadout and you have everything you need. You're good. Go ahead and fry. But I kind of like this because again, I think this will really slow people down. And it's like if you die, you don't just lose your loadout. You lose your satchel. You lose like extra things that you like had to like loot and get. And I just think it'll make the pacing of like at least BR will a lot better.
So my only concern here is look at this bottom section, JD, right under this. It says these provide operators with duplicates of the same items to increase your storage capabilities, thus increasing your effectiveness. Satchels can't be and don't need to be dropped, and one or both individual satchel types can be found and equipped once per match.
Ooh.
That's my only, you know, so.
Well, I think that just means you can't equip multiple. I think that's just worded poorly.
Well, it says you can equip both.
Yeah, but it's not like you're going to equip like, oh, I found a third satchel. Let me go ahead and add that on. So now it's going to go up from 6 plates to 12, from 12 to 18, from 18 to 24.
No. I just mean like, can you pick up both at the same time? Which yes. And then if you die, that says once per match. You can't like
get more. Ooh,
does that mean you can't pick it up again?
Well,
That'd
it probably
weird.
despawns off of dying.
No,
right?
it drops.
No, it just drops.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
I don't know how that works. I think the wording's bad.
Yeah, the way this is worded makes it seem like if you got a
when
satchel.
we got to play it, we were able to grab it.
Well, if you got a satchel off rip, let's say you looted, you landed, you got one, and then you died. If you came back, you couldn't get another satchel. That's the way it's worded.
Yeah, you can loot it right here, right under that. There's a text right under it. If an operator carrying one or more satchels is killed, all their satchels are dropped and can be looted. So you can. I'm just wondering now, if you die, is like you just can't loot that shit? That's so weird.
That would be
doesn't
weird.
make sense. I don't think that would restrict you from doing that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, honestly, all of those changes in my eyes are a fat W. My more L's are we're in Urzikstan, we're in an old Urzikstan. Uh, like there's no really BR content that much. I mean, I guess ranked. We gotta wait for Verdansk, but I'm hoping that a couple things like, bro, we'll get into the prestige right now, but like, there's no default perks now, right? Everything is 1-to-1 to Warzone. I will say this, and I know you guys are gonna feel this. Right now, mantling in multiplayer is slow. Swapping weapons is not as fast as it is in Modern Warfare 3.
Well, amped was a big deal in all of Warzone 1, and then it became still the same deal later on when they did it. And then once they did the Warzone 2.5 or whatever with MW3 integration, they ended up solving that by giving you the perk by default. So I don't know what they're going to do to solve that. They didn't talk about that, but I feel like that it should be mandatory. There's no ways, and you should be weapon swapping slow.
Yeah, those are my two big concerns. Like gung ho. I mean, if we are sprinting right now, we're looting, then it's fine. But my biggest thing was the default perks. What are going to be the default perks? And it seems like there are no default perks now. So that is definitely a backward step. And now we have all these perks that I think are still great, but I'm curious to see that mantling is going to be so bad comparatively to what we have now in Warzone. Mantling feels buttery smooth and it's fast. It's quick. Going to Black Ops 6, the mantling speed is really bad. Like it's really slow. And then swapping weapons is slower. So those are my two concerns. Now I guess, yeah. Do you guys have any concerns before we move on to the next thing?
Not necessarily with anything you brought up. I mean, one of my concerns, I think, with Warzone is the shooting doors open mechanic. I know that's kind of like a off topic, but I think shooting doors in Warzone is going to be really, really bad for the game. I think opening a door with just by shooting is going to be really bad for the game. But I know that's kind of like an off topic.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's good to discuss. I mean, what makes you think it's going to be OP?
I just think that like you should be able to close a door and be able to like play it up and reset and like not get spam nated or whatever. I don't know. I think there'll be some outplayability, but I think just shooting the door once and just like opening it is just going to cause issues. I feel like if
I don't think it fully opens it. It only cracks it.
You have to shoot it like 4 times for it to open all the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something like that.
No. I mean, we'll see how it plays. We'll see how it plays out. But I think that's one of my concerns. I think for multiplayer right now, at least for S&D, even I've like watched like some of the tourneys for Search and Destroy. And it's like a really frustrating thing dying when you're like, you get inside, you like close the door and somebody just opens it like just by shooting it. And it's like, it's just kind of frustrating. I don't know. It's kind of annoying. There's like no point in closing the door.
There's a learning curve to it too. They got to be able to change their behaviors. And I don't know. I haven't watched enough to know if it's like a sustained issue, like going forward, or is it just because it's still new? Like they're not used to that being, okay, well now I have to take the angle differently because the door's on this side and that means I have to pull left because the doors, I don't know if it's gotten to that point. I haven't watched enough of the comp side.
Like you know, many times in Warzone, you like barely are in zone and you're in a little small room, the doors are closed and you're able to like play it up and reset. And I feel like it's like if people are just able to shoot the doors, it just makes the game like a lot of space unplayable, basically. I don't know. That's kind of my worry. But like I said, we'll see how it plays out.
We'll see. Yeah, I think a lot of these little questions, we definitely are going to have to figure it out next week. So now let's move on to progressions, prestiges, and all that stuff, right? So fellas, thoughts on the prestige? I'm not going to lie. I was a little bit scared on the way they worded this, the first sentence of this. I was like, wait, hold on. Where it says level unlocks, it says your player level will be reset to 1 and you'll earn. Well, okay, well, let me
this is for people that didn't get BO6.
Yeah. That's why I was like, wait, hold on, brother. Because it says at the start of season 1, a similarly sized grind becomes available to Warzone. Here's what to expect. Your player level will be set to 1 and you'll earn XP to progress to 55 player level unlocks, gaining access to weapons, equipment, killstreaks, and perks as you go. Right there, I was like, hold on. You're telling me I got to get Prestige Master for Warzone alone? Like, I thought that, yeah, but I don't think, after reading it thoroughly, I don't think that's the play. I don't think that's the case. But we know how this all works. It's level 55. And I know there is a lot of questions about how it's going to work for Warzone, so we'll kind of touch on that. But level 55, you prestige, go back to level 1, and you get rewards every time you prestige. There's 10 prestiges. Then after level 55, prestige 10, you get Prestige Master. Then you now unlock to 1,000 levels of Prestige Master. So the only difference here for Warzone is that there will be some guns, right? That is it just guns, J-God, or is it other things as well?
What do you mean?
Lethals, tacticals, will all that be locked depending on your
everything?
level?
If you prestige, then you go back to level 1. So most people that just do Warzone, they're just gonna hit level 55. They won't prestige.
Okay. All right. You heard the man. So
because it even says right here, Overkill's level 24, Bandoleer's 15, Gunfighter's 33, Battle Ready's 38. And that's specifically a Warzone perk only, or over wildcard.
Yeah. Wow. So I feel like a lot of people are probably not going to prestige now, like because of that. So if you do want to prestige, here's the way it works. You hit level 55, then you enter prestige. That puts you all the way back to level 1. So you can only use the guns and the equipment and everything that is unlocked at player level 1, right? Your weapon level does not get reset. For example, the AK, you unlock it at level 8 or 4, whatever it is, right? If you were grinding that AK before you prestige and you had it to level 40 and you were about to hit level 50 or 41, whatever, once you unlock it again, you're still at weapon level 40 for that gun, and you can continue moving on. Your camo progress is not lost, and neither is your reticle progress lost. The only thing that gets reset is your actual level, but that does make it to where you got to grind back up to use every gun that you want in the game, use smokes, perks, all that stuff. You're going to have to unlock everything again. So, yeah, man, it might be a little crazy. We might see some people not having levels all the way. And that's another big L. Weapon levels take way too long. Way too long.
Way too long.
Dick, I don't even got mine leveled up all the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we talked about that in yesterday's podcast, but for some added clarification, I have 101 hours in the game. I have all of multiplayer mastery. I'm Prestige Master, and I still don't have all my guns leveled up all the way.
Yeah.
It took J-God, how many hours, J-God?
93.
93 hours for J-God of strictly going for his match camo, and then after that, trying to level up all his guns. 93 hours.
Yeah, it's insane.
If people only have 2 to 3 hours a day to play, how do they expect them to grind? You know?
Yeah, because we're gonna get battle passes, and then we're gonna get new guns every season, and people are gonna want to use them, and it's like, dude, if you can't even use them, it's chalked.
That's insane.
But we'll see.
Yeah, but hey guys, if you buy a blueprint, that gun is now permanently unlocked for you. That gun is now permanently unlocked for you forever. You can buy that blueprint, and you know you're good. You know what I'm saying? You don't have, if you prestige, it's fine. That gun stays unlocked for you if you didn't know.
Dang.
For those y'all that didn't know, you know what I'm saying?
Well, hashtag ad or what?
They better roll me my money.
That's
shit. So yeah, man. Reticle challenges are back. If you look at the 4th, 5th bullet, which is dope. We've wanted that for a while. I'm curious to see what reticle challenges or what reticles become available in Warzone, because right now we only see multiplayer and zombies and what reticles they have for that. So I'm curious to see how that all plays out. Now, what else? Weapon camos. Yo, let's talk about the camos, man. So there is, for the first time ever, a mastery camo grind for weapons.
Yeah, I think it'll mostly be eliminations, hopefully, but we'll see.
It says here, military camos. Let's see where
Does it say the challenges?
It says for weapon military camos.
Yeah, it says each usually requiring a set of in-game eliminations to obtain. These are unlocked on a per weapon basis and not shared.
Yep. So at least for the military camos, for zombies, it's 2,000 critical kills. For multiplayer, it's 100 headshots. Then for Warzone, it's going to be just straight up kills in Warzone with whatever gun that you're trying to use, which I'm going to keep it $150. This is going to make Resurgence even more popular.
Yeah.
I don't think people are going to be playing BR to get this. So,
No.
I mean, would you guys think it's
Plunder?
I wonder, do you think Plunder's going to count for this?
I would imagine. Yeah.
Okay. So
you'll go, hey, we're going to do community night chat.
Plunder, fellas, plunder.
Everybody queue up Plunder.
Then you have special camos which let's see, does it give you any hints on this? Special. So after you unlock your military camos, you focus on your special camos for each weapon with a specific unlock criteria for each. Complete both in any order, and these become available to place on any other Black Ops 6 weapon you've already unlocked special camos for, which I think is dumb. Note for multiplayer and zombie, special camos are also equipable in Call of Duty Warzone. So it doesn't tell you any challenges for that, but there's 2 per gun. And then finally the mastery camos, which are, JD, if you have a video, if you have the pictures, I would love to show them this, but there is Gold Tiger, King's Ransom, Catalyst, and finally Abyss. Now, I think Nebula is fire. I think Dark Matter is fire. From what I saw, the video that I saw of Abyss, that shit's ass.
It looked mid.
Like, bro, for it being the first ever Warzone mastery camo, that shit is chalk, twin. Look, here it is. Here's this one is, I think that's Catalyst. Here's Gold Tiger. Here's King's Ransom, which is considered diamond.
The King's Ransom one's fire.
That one is cool. Then Catalyst.
That one's cool.
This one's cool. And then Abyss. But then when you shoot it, it looks like this.
Which I think is cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that shit's ass. I don't know.
It looks like kind of like a venom, and then when you shoot it, it changes.
I don't know, bro. I see that. I'm like, I wish it could be better, man. I don't know. I mean, it is what it is, right? But I mean, I will say Catalyst is cool. Catalyst is cool, but I don't know. Maybe they up it, make it better, make it. I don't know. Maybe there's a secret challenge that we don't know about for this gun. That as you get kills, it looks cooler. Again, I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder if it's reactive. Like for every kill you get, it like goes up and up.
Yeah. So that's it, chat. I don't know. I think it's ass. And so that is the weapon mastery camo, which I think would be really cool. People are going to be using those guns, or I think this will probably be the first time where a lot of people would try to go for weapon mastery camo because it's just kills and you can go for that in game, which would be dope. I really am happy that they're doing this, and I hope this is a staple from here on out. And they continue to do this every year. And
because they added like a bazillion new weapons with the season. You don't got to do the BS melee weapon. You don't got to do the BS launchers.
Rocket launchers.
Yep.
Yeah. So, okay. Now, we're going to scroll down a little bit more. And the last thing we'll go over is all the new weapons coming to the game next week during season 1. So, JD, if you just scroll down, we'll start at the Krieg C. This is an assault rifle, chat. Let me show you how this looks like. This is the Krieg C. And this is, I'm assuming Krieg C stands for compact. Krieg, but just compact. It is an assault rifle, high damage, average handling, and this seems to be from
43 levels.
Shit. This seems to be a close to medium range gun with decent recoil. So I wonder if it's going to be good. I don't know if any of these guns, I'm curious to see how they balance all these. We'll see. So there's the Krieg C. Thoughts on this one, boys?
We'll wait and see. We don't even know how the current guns will integrate.
True. Yeah. That's another thing, which let's have that be the last topic of discussion. I want J-God to lead that because I know you don't video that.
We had like the M13C before, and it was like pretty mid.
Yeah,
so.
That one was ass.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Then the next one we have is called the SOG, and this is an SMG, high fire rate, and it seems from the description from what I read, it's built for hip firing. So this, when you add like tac stance, lasers, or anything for hip firing, it's probably gonna be really good. High fire rate, seems like it does have a lot of recoil. It says, I'm curious to see what that time to kill is gonna be, but it looks to be incredibly fast. So that is the SOG. And we have the shotgun. Why they keep adding more shotguns?
Also, I think with the aftermarket parts, they could potentially, just side note, because of the precedent that they're setting with some of these aftermarket style parts. We had akimbo SOGs in Black Ops 4, and we've had different types of things like that where maybe this would be the potential for SMGs to have the akimbo option, whereas maybe other SMGs wouldn't. I think so. There are things like that I think will happen with these weapons as well.
Okay, all right. So look, I mean, they got. I hope it's good. I hope it has good handling. Again, I didn't really think about the aftermarket parts. That's a good call, Jago. And then we do have a shotgun. This is called the Maelstrom. I hate shotguns. I want nothing to do with them. I want them to be gone forever. But this is an automatic shotgun. But I know there is people that like it, so it is what it is. An automatic shotgun that is coming, and it's probably going to be insane, knowing them. Then I think the last primary weapon that we have is the AMR Mod 4 sniper rifle, pretty much Barrett 50 cal.
Yep.
High damage, you know the way that's going to go. Yep, Barrett 50 cal coming back. Then we'll move on to secondary guns. We have, which I hope they continue to do this, which I think is really cool.
The pistol.
They have one, like it seems like they have like an AR, an SMG, a sniper, and then like a secondary. Maybe they continue to do that. Maybe they alternate between like marksman, LMG, and then we'll see what the next season holds. But we do have the Sirin 9mm. This is a pistol that is automatic, but it has slower fire rate than what you would normally see in an automatic pistol. But it has characteristics of a submachine gun from what it says in the description. So this one could be cool. This one could be cool. I kind of like this. Like that spy shit. Yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think about this? I just like the way it looks.
I think it looks fine. It looks kind of weird. It's just squared off.
Yeah. I don't know. Looks like Minecraft.
It looks like it's supposed to be hidden, Like it's not supposed to look like a gun, Oh, JD's saying it's a briefcase gun.
Yeah. Oh, that
would
makes
make
sense.
That would make sense.
Oh, that makes sense.
Where it folds the back
see.
part, it folds and it would just be flat. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Okay. And then now we move on to the melee weapons. We have the power drill, which I assume there's going to be some crazy like drilling into people's skulls and shit.
Yeah, that'll be sick.
Then we just side note for this when it comes to these is they're probably going to release a bunch of these because remember, you can utilize these as your default melee weapon and run unlimited auto attack sprint. I would hope, and would you guys let me know, these should all have the same movement speed.
The drill gun, like all those.
Every single melee weapon, bat, knife, drill, the clever that we're about to see.
Because I would hate for us to like not be able to use like what we want. It's like cool cosmetics,
Yeah.
It'd be so. Hopefully they're all the same.
So you should be able to run around with this like that. So I hope that's the case. Then we have the cleaver, which is like a butcher's knife. And that one's coming as well. So I do think this opens up a big opportunity for them to have super cool cosmetics that I think we all, which is kind of weird that we've never had them in Call of Duty. We see it in CSGO, we see it in Valorant, we see it in so many other games where you can have crazy knives, crazy stuff. So this will be really, really dope. And I'm really happy this is coming back. Or not come back, but this is being implemented. Let's see. And then finally, we have special weapon attachments. There's 4 different ones that are coming to the game. You have the 12 gauge Dragon's Breath, which is pretty much Dragon's Breath for shotguns, right?
Yep.
You have the buffer weight stock, which is a little bit different. It's on the XM4, the XMG LMG, and the DM10 marksman rifle. And this pretty much gives you really good recoil control at the expense of ADS speed and like ADS strafing speed. So that is the buffer weight stock. And you have these next two I really don't understand. The burst fire conversion kit for the XM4 and the burst fire conversion kit for the Compact 92.
Yeah. I mean, it's just kind of more of like a fun thing. I'm sure they want people to try out burst guns. I never really liked burst SMGs. I know like the older Black Ops games had burst SMGs. I never liked them. But I mean, we had a couple burst metas throughout Cold War. So I wouldn't be surprised if they brought, maybe made this XM4 conversion pretty good. Because we had like the AUG and then there's a couple other burst guns, but.
Well, I wonder if they up the damage profile for this. If you add this, it increases the damage because it seems like it's just a fire mod. So you just unlock the ability to 3-round burst. It said it has no recoil.
Yeah, it's probably just recoil buffs.
And then same thing for the Compact 92. SMG having burst is just chalked. So that will more than likely not be used. So yeah, man, that based off everything that I see, man, that is pretty much all the changes coming to the game. And but the one thing I do want to talk about really fast, and Jago, I kind of want you to lead this discussion, man, is how the time to kills and the weapon metas will play out in the game next week, right? Because your video was very informative and it opened up, I think, the possibility that now weapon metas are going to be very different this year than probably in the last couple years. I think the last time it felt that things were gonna be like this was like back in like Cold War. So you kind of explain it to everybody for those of them that don't know.
basically all the data we have for the weapons that are in game or whatever, when you put that over to 300 health, and we know it's going to be 300 health because when we played it next, that's what it was. It's not the 100 health plus 150 plates. Warzone's just going to be balanced differently. So because of that, we're going to have completely different damage valuables. Just for perspective, the fastest killing gun in the game, if we carried it over to Warzone right now, would be the Compact 45 or whatever, which is terrible in BO6, but it would be the fastest killing, and it would still be terrible, and it would be non-viable, and not a single gun would basically make it in the meta if they don't change the values on stuff. So what that tells me is, since they're going to probably have these guns be viable, at least, if not meta, that we'll probably have some significant changes on compared to multiplayer data values, and maybe we'll have some significant differences. And one thing they did with the original Warzone that they could potentially do was, for example, in Modern Warfare 2019, there'd be like 3 damage drop-offs for a weapon. So it would drop off, let's say for the rifle, for the kilo, it would drop off at like 20 meters, 45 meters, and then 70 meters or something like that. And what they did was, in the integrated in Warzone, we didn't know this for the first year because we really had no reason to test for it. But going into the second year, True Game Data ended up discovering this, where what they did is they dropped off that last damage variable. So it would be like from 0 to 20 meters, 20 to 40, and then everything beyond that was the same. There was no further damage drop off at 70. So they could do something as simple as that for the long range options, but for the close range, they have to deal more damage. They have to do more damage specifically to the head because they do almost no damage. So even if you landed probably 7 headshots in Warzone, it wouldn't be enough to get a faster TTK, which Warzone doesn't really work that way. You need, usually I think the metas are the best when you get 2 headshots and you get a faster TTK. Anything less than that, it's too wishy-washy, and guns end up killing way too fast, especially if they have slow fire rate, but that's a whole other story. So I think when we actually get the patch, it'll be interesting because I think they still want to make it so that these MW2 and MW3 weapons are viable, at least a couple for each game, because the people that have already been playing Warzone, they already have these guns leveled, at least a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them. And with the new leveling system and the prestige system and a lot of those things, I think potentially they would make it so that it's less punishing to prestige if you had a couple MW2 or MW3 guns that were potentially viable or meta. So I think there should be a strong push for that, especially with so many people coming back to the game that haven't played. They want to make it as user-friendly as it can be. So I think there's a lot of things going for it, but we won't really know. This is just like me guessing. Like somebody said in chat, 177 guns, too much. What does it matter? Like if you're only using 5, what does it matter? Too much guns for who? I know the 5 metal guns that we're going to use, the 10 or whatever. That's all it really matters. If you cycle in old guns, new guns, you get challenges to do something, you want to do something specifically, doesn't matter how many guns there are.
Yeah, so one thing I think people...
And they can't get rid of them because people buy blueprints.
True. Like, one thing I think people, like, what this brings up, or what this means by them having separate damage values. And for those of you that don't know, like, it's been said, right, that if you fuck up things in multiplayer, or if you mess with things in multiplayer, it's going to mess with things in Warzone. For the first time, I think, Jacob, when was the last time we've had it like this?
Well, there's been some differences, but it's been a while, probably since Cold War, where the meta felt good. And that's why that stupid shotgun ended up being broken like 7 times after every nerfed and fixed and nerfed and fixed and nerfed and fixed. It's because they fix it in one game and then it would fuck it up in the other.
Yeah. So like, for example, the last 2 to 3 years, chat, they would have to, like, let's say last year, Sledgehammer would change a gun, change its values, and then because that gun would also be changed in Warzone, right? Now, with the way it's looking like, we're gonna have 2 completely separate values. So multiplayer can mess with whatever they want to mess with, and then Warzone can mess with whatever they want to mess with. So now it's looking like we might, fingers crossed, be able to finally have fun metas to where it's not just one gun that dominates everything and it's just super broken, but we might actually have a really healthy playlist of guns that we can use. Why? why now, right? The question that people are like, oh, why all of a sudden? Because if they're separating multiplayer and Warzone and like numbers, then they can no longer affect each other anymore, which is a good thing. So I'm hoping that that's the case. And if we can have Cold War metas, like how great Cold War meta was, that was fire. Like Cold War metas was
Cold War was insane.
You could use so many different guns. So I hope we get back to that, those vibes. But I mean, hey, fellas, like, bro, honestly, I am incredibly excited. I think I've come to terms with us still being on Urzikstan. To be fair, I will more than likely be on Area 99. And maybe I'll dabble into ranked. We'll see what the vibe is. We'll see. I kind of just, I don't know why. I like the map. I like Area 99. I just think it's going to be fun. So hope they have cool content for that. But what are y'all's kind of overall thoughts, man, and closing thoughts on this?
I think we're in for a great year. At least starting off, it feels very... I mean, besides the Urzikstan coming back kind of thing, like everything else seems like they planned it out and it feels very organized and there's like some structure. So I'm really confident that we're going to start off good, because most years I feel like we don't, and then it's going to build from there. That's kind of the vibe I'm feeling. So I'm hopefully that goes that track.
Okay. All right. Jago, talk to me, man.
I mean, whoever's responsible for everything that's going on needs a raise, because they're keeping everything organized and they're basically taking all kinds of feedback from the previous years easily. I mean, I'm sure JD can find them, but look at the season 1 updates for the past 4 or 5 years. They are trash with the capital T, RASH, huge garbage. And they've really been let down. The season starts late and then we end up with the holiday. The game's broken and it's just like, what the hell? Whatever they did to get this in order, whether it was the 4 years, whether it's people like monitoring the timeline saying you need to get this done by this date, and this is the type of content. And it kind of worked out what I mentioned yesterday with the weekly updates, and like they kind of filtered out some of that stuff, and it looks like they just put out what's important, 5 or 6 weapons and a new zombies map and new whatever. And I don't know, they cooked. And they've been cooking, and hopefully I'm going to stay optimistic until they stop cooking, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see, man. I think they're doing a great job right now. Curious to see what everything looks like in half a year, even 4 months from now. Shit, even a month, 2 months from now. I'm excited for competitive. I know there's probably going to be crazy amounts of tournaments next week, or even 2 weeks from now, whatever the case, right? But all in all, man, I really do like the changes. I think people have been asking, oh, Warzone feels the same. It needs to be different. Well, I think they got what they asked for. The game's actually going to feel different now. Omni movement, no backpacks, default looting system, new perks, wild cards. Like things are just going to get mixy, and I'm excited to try it. You can play however you want to play. And I think that's the way COD should always be. If you want to be fast, you want to be aggressive, you want to go crazy, go ahead, do it. If you want to play slow, you want to play tactical, you can do that too, right? Yep. Like, I'm excited, man, fellas.
Well, I will add, that's not to say that there won't be any issues at launch. I think there definitely will be some hiccups. There always happen with the game with as many moving parts, but yeah, look at that. It's on the screen.
Come on.
Oh my God, bro. I have PTSD, bro.
Yo, what's even on there that's worth?
I'm curious to see the vehicles. I'm hoping vehicles are different because, dude, the helicopters, all the cars, everything sucks in the game that we play right now, and it's kind of like carried over from Warzone 2. I'm praying that the vehicles get better because I feel like right now nobody's using vehicles. Everyone's just using portable balloons and stuff. So hopefully vehicles are better. But
yeah, I mean, back in Verdansk, that's all people use, obviously, because there was no portables. But listen, bro, again, like Jagot said, there will more than likely be stuff that happens that's broken. That's not what we're saying. I think what people just need to grasp is that we're saying, yo, this is like a pretty damn good foundation for this year. And last year, it was a pretty good foundation too. I'm not gonna lie. The beginning of last year was actually not bad. Like they changed things pretty fast. It was pretty good. I do think Sledgehammer did the best that they could with what was given to them. Oh my God, look at this. I mean, even this was pretty good. It wasn't too bad, This year, though, I do think the content is actually insane. Not so much Warzone, but I think as a whole, content for this year is pretty nuts. Movement's great. Perk system's great. I mean, at least in theory, we have to play it. But from everything from what it seems like on paper, went for a good year. We'll see. Next week we'll find out. And I am excited. Sad we're on Urzikstan, but I'll be on Area 99 and we'll kind of go from there, man. Fellas, final thoughts. Are we good to go?
Excited, man. That's
Okay.
all I gotta say. I'm stoked. I mean, Black Ops 6 the release was super smooth. Everything was great. So I'm excited to see it carry over to Warzone.
Yeah, man. Look at this. Jacob, you're muted, by the way. But look at this, bro. Like.
Oh, I said, damn, as soon as it popped up. But you guys
That's
just
sick.
I was talking to chat. I forgot to unmute.
Look at the difference, man. Yeah,
The
bro. I
replacer
mean,
bundle, bro. The replacer bundle is gonna go crazy.
that replacer actually is gonna be nuts, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, fellas, bring back Krampus and all is right in the world. You know what
All
I'm
right,
saying?
man. All right, man.
Anyways, man, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed today's podcast, man. Super excited for next week and the Warzone integration. If there is more blogs, if there's more things, we will do another podcast on that. But for the meantime, we'll catch you guys in the next one. I appreciate you guys. Peace!